hear me cough? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Got too many buttons. Welcome to everybody tonight. We've got a full evening, and remember, the clocks turned forward last night. So instead of it being in 23 hours, I would see you, it was in 22 hours. And I told you that a week's worth of stuff can happen in 22 hours, and a week's worth of events have happened in the past 22 hours. Now, here locally in Greenville, Pennsylvania, we had a great time in service today. It was fantastic. Hello there, Jeremy Teeple, checking in from Canada. It was good. It was a good day. Preached twice. Came home, sent my wife down to Pittsburgh. Her mother's improving. And hello, Charlene Hayes. Welcome to you. Wow. And then I was prepping and getting ready for this evening. Spent quite a bit of time talking with Zhenya this afternoon, catching up on a few things. And quite a few things are unfolding. And some of these I have already been telling you about. So it'll be interesting as we discuss them tonight. I'm trying to watch the chat as best as I can. Virgie Robertson, welcome to you from Virginia. MJF Sports, checking in from Texas. Pastor David Latshaw, God bless you. And I don't know. There's stuff going on everywhere. You guys get ready. Amy Durive, you're very welcome. It is my pleasure. And this is what I can do to help the world be aware. And it's really not. It was easy to transition into this daily right now for the war. Typically we do programs on Tuesday and Friday, but this is what I can do. And when Holly was heading out the door today to head to Pittsburgh to be with her mom tonight at the hospital, she just said, listen, I just want you to know I'm proud of what you're doing. You're loyal to your friends. You're daggone right, I'm loyal to my friends. So thank everyone for that. Got some incredible stuff to share with you tonight, and we're going to get going. But the first thing that I'm going to share with you, we've just got to get down to it. The first thing I'm going to share with you tonight, this was delivered today in a beautiful box, card attached. Hello, you. What? Hello, you. And so you guys are sending in shirts. I think I've received 5 shirts so far. I guess you guys don't like my wardrobe because it's only Ukraine colors every night. PG, thank you for all you do and providing us with the truth every night. All our love, Mark and Chrissy, praying for Ukraine. So thank you to Mark and Chrissy. But folks, you've got to see this. Okay, like, this is unbelievable. That's a cookie. That's basically in the shape of Ukraine. And here's a heart with the Ukrainian colors and flowers. So, of course, I'm not going to eat the Ukraine one. I think I'm going to pop it up on the wall up there. Maybe I need to shellac it so it doesn't. But I'm going to put that one up on the wall. But just so you guys know, I will dabble here. I mean, I know she slaved over these cookies, so. Oh my. It's not even fair that somebody has that ability to cook and bake at that level. All right, let's get to it. Thank you, Reynolds. That was fantastic. Steve Schramm, what's up, big man? Welcome. Jackson loved the cookie. Yeah, I've got to put Jackson's picture up in the next day or two. You guys are very welcome. Listen, I'm committed, you're committed, and together we're doing a great thing. Remember, your job out there is to pray for Ukraine, give up a latte a week, and give, even if you give $20 a week, whatever it is. We're doing a phenomenal job. We'll have some updates on the numbers here in a few days, and I'll tell you online on one of these evenings once PK can get it clear for me. But it is shocking what's happening here, folks, as we come together. And so we pray, we give, and you like the video, you share it, you tell your friends and neighbors, comment on it, and all that stuff, and it spreads. So 22 hours later, we are a week worth of events have unfolded. Do you remember last night we were talking about the orphanage in Vinica? Let me go here. I know you guys love the maps. So our base of operations is here in Khmelnytsky. And Vinica is this city right here. And that's where that orphanage is. We told you that when we, commit to something and make an effort on something, even with our team there in Ukraine, they respond. They respond. Rose and Don Gentilini, you're very welcome. I look forward to 9 p.m. as well. Folks, for those of you that don't know, Don and Rose Gentilini are a part of this program watching each evening. We love the maps. Helps so much. Yes, it does. And they were actually missionaries to Eastern Europe and to this region of the world way before the Iron Curtain fell back in the 80s. They are in here each night. They love Ukraine. They love this region of the world, and they are missionary extraordinaires. So thankful that they are in here. So last night we were talking about Vinica. We were talking about the orphanage, the 138 special needs kids that need help. So I told you we're going to open a financial front there, and we will send resources to help them. But how about this? We discovered this the last day or so. We talked about it last night on the program. Now, how about this for a quick response? Check this out.
Hello friends from Ukraine. Tomorrow morning I'm going to Vinica area to check one kids orphanage and what kind of needs they have and how we can help them in this crazy wartime. And we'll share the story and the video from that trip and the news from our side on live with Greg Terry. See you soon. Bye. God bless.
Is that a pretty quick response? So there was Zhenya. I was just talking to him a little while ago. He popped that video over for me. He's asleep right now. Zhenya will be on with us tomorrow night live for the hour from Ukraine. We'll be discussing all the events that are happening, and we will be talking with the Ukrainian. But the need arose for the orphanage. It's basically an hour and 15-minute drive. Well, that's typical. It's definitely much longer now due to block post, military, and police. But from that red circle on the left to the red circle to the right, typically about an hour and 15, hour 30, we roll. But it's probably going to take him quite a bit longer tomorrow. So Zhenya is heading out in the morning, going to go check on the orphanage, figure out what we can do to help. And tomorrow night, he'll bring video, and we will be talking about it and make something happen. So thanks to him. He also sent me this. He was just at a couple of hours ago before finishing out the night there. He was picking up some more refugees, and this was the final load for the night. And yeah, he has a new hair look. He cut his own hair. He filmed a little bit of a video that he's really not supposed to film, and it's just quiet, but about 10 seconds. And you can see just he's sitting there and he's waiting for the people to register, and then they have to take the people that are assigned to them or the ones they choose and take them to the 3 centers that they have. But this was him a few hours ago. That's people waiting. He can't talk. He can't do nothing. But he could show us a quick clip. So that's it. They're waiting. The thing that I want you to pay attention to is coats. There's no heat, folks, and it's cold. Now, the reason that we love Ukraine so much is their heart and their humor, and they're just wonderful people. Zhenya sent me this as well. He said, show this one tonight. Please let people know, even in a wartime, we are still smiling, we're trying to laugh, and we're doing the best we can. Remember, his wife and children are now in the Netherlands. Not Poland, the Netherlands. And no idea when he will see them again. Reality. But here we go. This was Zhenya a little while ago. I think you'll enjoy this one.
Hey, here is some humor from Ukraine in the war. So that some good people, I mean, they were like looking for helping the different ways to help our army. So they were trying to find some pillows and the rest. So they said we found, and they brought it for soldiers, for army. Hello Kitties. So the soldiers said no, thank you. We fine.
The Hello Kitty wouldn't work, but people are donating in Ukraine everything they can. And the soldiers told him, he says, no, the pink one will not work. So anyway, all right, folks, let's get to it. There's an update from Zhenya. And remember, tomorrow night we will have him live for the hour. It'll be a good time. I want to start tonight with the general's report. That is the icon of the general, the military. And on the right, of course, we have President Volodymyr Zelensky. So as always, I translate the general reports. I translate President Zelensky's speeches and give you the highlights of them. I have it written right over here. Today, here are some things that President Zelensky said. And then after that, folks, I'm going to show you a video. You do not need to understand the Ukrainian language. That's what he's speaking in this video. You're going to see a real leader in just a minute. Zelensky said today, we're going through the worst ordeal in our history, in our lives. We protect the most precious thing we have. We must hold on. We must fight, and we will win. I believe in that. Secondly, he said, I clearly warned NATO multiple times. If there are not tough enough preventative measures against the Russian Federation, you will be at war with them. He then stated about the murder of the American journalist who used to work for the New York Times. He was there freelancing. He was killed. He said the murder of an American journalist is a deliberate attack by the Russian military against the Americans. He then talked about, today I visited our guys in the hospital, and I want you to know that in the same hospital where we are treating our Ukrainian soldiers, and I'm going to show you a video of that, we are also treating wounded Russian soldiers. because they are people. They are not beasts. Can that sink in for just a moment? I'm going to show you that hospital visit, and you're going to see President Zelensky visiting his soldiers. You're going to see him decorate soldiers as heroes. But on a different floor, the enemy is being treated. Let that sink in about humanity. I think there's a lesson for us to learn. He then said, I'm grateful to all the doctors and nurses working in Kyiv, Dnipro, Vinnytsia, Lviv, Chernihiv, Donbass, Kharkov, Melitopol, Mariupol, everyone. He says tomorrow there will be negotiations. It's not the level of Lavrov and Kuleba. We will not be meeting at Belarus. It will be a video conference, 10:30 in the morning. He's not negotiating. He and Putin are not talking, just representatives of the government. He said today we opened 10 humanitarian quarters, and today we rescued 5,550 people. In the last 6 days, we have been able to rescue 130,000 people. Unfortunately, the humanitarian corridor we were establishing to Mariupol was blocked and fired upon. Mariupol, once again this evening, has nothing. He then says, there are many civilian deaths. I don't know how many. You see the number released officially, like 2,500 dead in Mariupol, folks. It's just the official number. Then the logo on the left, the general forces reported. They said, today we conducted defense operations successfully in the south, the east, and the north. The Air Force of Ukraine today took out a few missile strikes that took out some of the aerial attacks equipment of the enemy and critical infrastructure. But since the beginning of the day, and I'll flip to here to show you guys this, just so you know. Let's do this. Since the beginning of the day, this is from the general. The main efforts are advancing on the city of Kryvyi Rog. Kryvyi Rog is here. You can see now the movement is coming even deeper into Ukraine, as well as Mykolaiv, which is here. And, of course, Mariupol, nothing we can do. And then, of course, in Zaporozhye, that is where the power plant. He says, as well, a full naval group has positioned itself in the Black Sea, right here where the X is. And they are preparing for a naval assault on Odessa. So you can see this entire southern area of Ukraine is just under assault. And of course, they already have the east. They're working on Kharkov, Sumy. They have Chernihiv. So it's the same thing. And then Kyiv is it's being attempted to surround Kyiv. But the defenses of Ukraine are doing a phenomenal job. He did say they had many successful battles today. And I'm going to draw your attention to something in just a few moments that is very, very serious. And we'll come back to the map for that in just a moment. So that's the general's report, and that's Zelensky's report. Now, I will show you as well today, this is the map released by the Ukrainian military that updates their people on movements of the day. I was sent this afternoon, and I'll share it with you. There's no audio. It's just released to the people, day 18 of the war. And it's showing basically what I was showing you and drawing to you. But this is released officially from the Ukrainian military. It shows all the bombing locations today, every place bombs were dropped, where infrastructure was damaged, and the red arrows are showing the advancement and the hopeful advancements of the Russian military. So that is that. Now, I told you guys that, as well as translating for you what President Zelensky said today and the general staff, showing you that map, I wanted to take a couple of moments and show you President Zelensky this afternoon in Kyiv. You're not going to understand this. This video is about 2.5 minutes long. You do not need to understand it. Just watch it. For those that continue to say he's left Ukraine, it's not the truth. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Today, President Zelensky, of course, with protection, walked right down the street of downtown Kyiv from his office to the hospital to greet the soldiers of the Ukrainian army. Folks, this is fantastic.
Тому ми свій обов'язок
Начальник відділення, полковник.
академік академічних наук Генеральної юрисдикції Лурін.
Ми переможемо. 100%. Добрий день, бажаю здоров'я. Як ви, хлопці? Хорошо. Та не хорошо. Хорошо. Нормально? Нормально. Молодці, дуже круто. Міцні хлопці. Давно?
А нещодавно.
Нещодавно?
5 числа. Ні, 6, мабуть. 6.
А 100 міну? Міну. Підерпіння. Чим можемо допомогти?
Стоять, персонал отлично.
Да.
Заботиться.
Супер. Почала готувати на стіл, накривати будемо і за перемогу, і за мир.
Десь нас дуже поважає.
Get the selfie.
Дякую. У нас же є ще нагороди.
Указом Президента України за мужність, самовіддані дії, воєнної захисті державного суверенітету та територіальної цілісності
He's
України.
presenting them with
Вірність
heroic
військової
medals.
присязі, нагороджено, медаллю за військову службу України.
Велику працю. Дякую вам. Одужуйте. Сил вам, ви молодці. Заради вас і на ваших плечах все це. Це найголовніше.
Let's go ahead and take it a step further.
Старший солдат, Петрович, Богдан Віталійович, дуже Вони нас можуть
Поправляем? Поправляйте обязательно. Это важно.
Ходженням грудного відділу був гемопневмоторакс, хеморагічний. Ну, правда,
Добре.
зонди, які в носі стоять, їх помаленьку треба зразу не можна.
He's asking them about the condition of the soldier.
Дякую.
Thank you very much for your service.
І ще один раз.
Folks, it's why I'm here every night, because I'm just tired of the lies about Ukraine. If you can't, in fact, you guys hang on here because the video I'm going to show you at the end tonight is going to put the exclamation point on it. I did see this come in, Ed Lewis. God bless you. That's not surprising. Blockade on the Black Sea. That is correct. I'm seeing that now over here. But we knew that was coming, but thank you for the confirmation of it. So let's continue, folks. That's Zelensky. Now, let's go ahead and get through a few things really quickly here. Pretty interesting. Late last night, President Biden tweeted Putin was counting on a divided NATO, a divided West, and quite frankly, a divided America. But he got none of that. It was another tweet that he had actually stated a while ago, but as you can see the time stamp there, he had restated it yesterday, late last night, March the 12th. That's in Russian, but 12 Mar is the 12th of March. And I'm just going to tell you, folks, and I'm going to tell you the truth as we've been doing. Pretty interesting. About the time that tweet was coming out, this was happening. Russian missiles strike Ukrainian military range near Poland, killing dozens. Moscow promises further attacks. About the same time that President Biden was tweeting that NATO is all together and they're shocked how the world is coming together, and Putin was attacking a training center. Listen to me. Where Americans are. It is not an official military detachment, but we have guys there training Ukrainian military. It's a fact. Putin stated after the missile attack, weapons and training will not be tolerated. 35 were killed. 134 were wounded. Now, I want you to pay attention to this because I'm going to show you something that is all over the Ukrainian news right now. Putin said weapons and training will not be tolerated. He fires missiles at the training center. Maybe, you don't know the map of Ukraine, but let me show you where this is. I'll put this in a different color. Let's go green. Right here. Right there. Folks, just a few miles from the Polish border. Do you realize tonight that if one of those missiles or bombs or whatever they use to attack that training center hit Polish dirt, even by accident, NATO would respond? I would hope. Your ground's been touched. That's what all these guys I guarantee you Poland will respond. They're not playing. The rest of the world's dragging their feet. And nobody wants World War III. But folks, we can't have a dictator wiping out an entire nation. We can't have it. This is humanity. It's a part of the message I preached today at church. It's humanity. So we now, if you don't think that's close, it's right there on the green. That's where that happened. So now we have attacks in Lutsk, Lviv, Ivano-Frankovsk, Vinnytsia, Zhytomyr, Rovno. Looks like it's expanding. Now, here's what's interesting. Americans were there in training. This is what is all over the Ukrainian news right now.
We are not seeking direct confrontation with Russia, though I've been clear that if Russia targets Americans in Ukraine, we will respond forcefully.
I'm going to play that one more time for you.
We are not seeking direct confrontation with Russia, though I've been clear that if Russia targets Americans in Ukraine, we will respond forcefully.
That is going all over Ukraine right now. We shall see. We'll be back together in 23 hours. But all over Ukrainian media now, they're pulling that quote. I mean, you understand, we're their friend. Yeah, they're not in NATO. But we're an ally. We're a friend. And our president makes those statements. And then we get fired upon. We've had a journalist killed today, although he was doing his own deal. It's an American. And now a missile attack where 35 people killed, 134 wounded. And that little clip there is going crazy in Ukraine right now. Let's take it to the next step. We better be proactive or not reactive. Much better to be proactive than reactive, especially in this situation. U.S. officials say Russia has asked China for military help in Ukraine. Everybody now is coming out and saying, oh, no, that's not true. That's not true. This has been breaking for the last 3, 4, 5 hours. Well, Russia asked China for military assistance in its invasion of Ukraine. That is from the Financial Times, which is based in London. When everybody started to say that this wasn't happening, these newspapers, the Financial Times, the sources in America, were asked to give their sources. And all of them gave them up and says, we heard this directly from our U.S. government contacts. That's our source. Now everybody's trying to be quiet about it, but these are the things we've already been talking about. I've been talking about this for 2 years. Ezekiel 38 is being set up. I've been talking about this, how Russia, Iran, and China are coming together, dragged with hooks in their jaws. You're exactly right, Rick Barry. And we're watching it unfold in front of our eyes. We've been on this train, the hope train, for 2 years since COVID started. We started this evening ministry of an outreach of our church here at Bethel Life, and it's grown and it's grown and it's grown. And now, with these events unfolding in my second homeland, I consider myself a secondary citizen of Ukraine. It's my second home. Это мой второй дома. My second home. We're now going every night because we need to pay attention to this. We need to get the truth out. We need to be light in darkness. People need to know the reality of this. I went to Walmart today with my son, and a watermelon was $9.41. Life is changing. The world is changing, and it's changing in front of our eyes. And right now, I know that many of us that watch this program are Christians, but now the reach is growing bigger. And maybe there's not, Christians, but you're concerned about Ukraine. But I'm here to tell you tonight, as a Christian, this stuff is talked about in the Bible. It's very clear. And I'm not sitting here going to chase that right now, just looking at facts. But we've been talking at this. Do not think that this cannot happen. Do you not think that the missile attack from Iran to Iraq last night that I was telling you about even before Fox had it, they were sending me the videos. You don't think that's connected? It's not a conspiracy. It's a fact. It's not like, I think I heard that maybe they fired this missile from Iran to Iraq. Now, that would be conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. Iran the Republican Guard. I'm sorry, the highest tier military in Iran. This was not a rogue group in Iran. This was the Republican Guard. That's the Iranian army. They attacked. Now, Lviv attacked. Now, Russia and China absolutely talking about hooking up. And did you not know that China came out? I'm not even showing it. China came out yesterday and says, listen, what is happening in Ukraine, don't even think about it here when we want to do what we want to do to Taiwan. It's happening right in front of our eyes, and we must not be blind to it. That's why we're here every night. As of a few hours ago, there are now 14 recruitment centers in Syria signing up Syrian military to join Russia. They're paid between $300 and $600 per month. Thousands have already signed up. I showed you a video on it last night. It's not a joke. It's real. The Syrians are there. Isn't this crystal clear? I mean, it's crystal clear, folks. It's not a time to be afraid, but it's a time to be aware. It's a time not to be ostriches and stick our head in the sand. It's a time to be aware. It's time to look at the entire big picture. It's time to pray. It's time to read the Word of God, and it's time to keep up with current events. Jesus was talking about that in Matthew 24. He says, when you see these things happening, well, how do you see them happening? By paying attention, by being here every night, 9 o'clock. You go about your day, you're working, you're doing your thing, come in at 9 o'clock. We're going to talk about what's going on. So we're prepared, and then we can do our best as a team here to support that effort. That's what we're doing. The recruitment is real, and it's happening. The NATO chief came out today. That's on the left. His name is Jens Stoltenberg. He is the NATO chief. And he came out and directly said, we are confident that the Russians are preparing a chemical attack on Ukraine. If they do this, NATO will be there immediately. He dropped the gauntlet. Today in the White House, the United States said the officials are bracing for a possible Russian chemical attack. We've been talking about this for 4 or 5 days. I want you to remember, we were talking about a potential war for months, and then it happened, and then it unfolded. Now, when you see these things, whether it's China or the potential of a chemical attack, it's legit, folks. It's not conspiracy. It's not hearsay. We're literally witnessing the potential beginning of World War III. It's not fear. We need to be aware so that we know how to do what God has called us to do and be aware. You guys remember when I keep telling you that Vladimir Putin had already sanction-proofed Russia? Listen, sanctions will have an effect, but they're not going to break Russia. I'm telling you, they've been preparing for this for a decade. Yesterday, Air Serbia came out. Serbia, an ally of Russia. Serbia for the Russian war in Ukraine. Serbia doubled their flight capacity to Moscow. And now Russians are traveling freely throughout Europe. They're not on Aeroflot. They're not on Russian companies, but Air Serbia has doubled their capacity and their flights to Moscow, and travel is happening. just like normal. There's always a way. I would like to give a tribute tonight, as always, and pay attention to folks. Last night we looked at some cities and paid tribute to them. Remember Slavuch, and we were talking about Mariupol more. We were talking about Melitopol. Tonight, I'd like to talk about a lady named Ina Derusova. Ina Derusova. This lady you're seeing here was given the title of Hero of Ukraine. It was awarded to her posthumously. It's the first woman ever. Since February 24th, or the beginning of the war, she was a senior combat medic. She has been performing her task and her duties in the city of Akturka, Sumy region. She personally saved more than 10 servicemen, risking her own life. She died from artillery shelling by Russian troops while she was helping the wounded. Ina Derusova. We pay tribute to this lady, a medic who gave her life fighting for the independence of Ukraine. Kharkov still being demolished. If you look at the picture on the left and look at the upper left-hand corner, you see the M. You say, okay, what's that for? Well, that is the logo of the metro, the subway system. The subway systems in Russia and Ukraine and many European nations is extremely deep in the earth. Like, it's shocking how deep you go down in the subway tunnels. Kharkov, the subway system is very deep. Why? They were built that way during the Cold War in preparation of nuclear attack. They're very deep. They're very beautiful, as you can see. That is way underground. These people are living here. They can't get out. And the pictures you're seeing is their preschool, their school that they're running Monday through Friday in the subway. These people are living underground, trying to stay alive. I want to also jump over to Mariupol. I told you last night that Mariupol is systematically being destroyed. Vladimir Zelensky said the same thing. The general secretaries have said the same thing. They cannot get there. There are troops there protecting, but they can't stop the systematic destruction. They're just trying to keep people alive and do the best they can. I want to show you a little clip. There's no sound, but this is systematic destruction. You're going to see a couple of apartment buildings, flats where these people live, and this is typical dwellings, and you're going to see just a systematic shelling. You'll see a shell. You don't see any death. I would never show that on here. You're going to see the shell hit the building, then it's going to move and hit again, and you will just, somebody explain to me, this is scorched earth, folks. Let's just raise the whole place. Would somebody explain to me, those buildings were already destroyed and the people gone. Would somebody please explain to me what's the purpose? I mean, other than we're just going to destroy this entire city. And you know, that's a wonderful comment there, John McElvey. Rest easy, sister. We will take your calls from here. Sounds like a soldier. Yeah, they're just destroying that raising it. And I did see your comments. No, I would never, I will never show you guys anything of death. Never. I'll show you stuff like that, but never. Never ever. I want to show you this Berlin today. This is just like World War II, folks. This was in Berlin. Berlin. And the Ukrainian media said, Berlin, of all cities, understanding what happened in World War II, coming out today to stand for Ukraine. They understand what Ukraine's going through as a city from World War II. I want to show you one more thing here. What's the plan for the Ukrainian people now? Victor Mansoure. The plan for the Ukrainian people right now is to get women and children to safety. Many Ukrainians from abroad are coming back home, the diaspora. It was 190,000 a couple of days ago, and now it's over 200,000 have returned. And they're going to fight for their homeland. This is a war of independence. They're not going to give up. They're not. So that's the plan. I want to show you guys a picture of a friend of mine. His name is Zolik. He is serving there in Khmelnytsky. It's a part of our team. This young man, I've known him since he was 6 years old. He's 31. I think he's 31. 25 years. That kid right there is a genius. He is working so hard with Zhenya to support the work in Khmelnytsky. But I need to share with you something about Zhenya. Let me show him to you there. That would help. There he is. Zolik. That's his nickname. I've known him since he was 6 years old. He's serving there. But let me tell you something. He's a stinking genius. Skills out of the wazoo. The technology, computer, work. I mean, just, it's unbelievable. So tonight I wanted to say thank you to Zolik. And here's what's interesting. Do you know what his full name is? His name is Volodymyr Zelensky. Yes, very similar to the name of the president of Ukraine, and that is Zolik. And I'm very proud of him and what he's doing. He's like a son to me. Finally, folks, we get to the last thing for tonight. And who knows, in 23 hours, what is going to unfold. I want to share something with you. And I know many of you guys, I'm watching the chat the best I can. They're everywhere. Yes, his full name is Volodymyr Zelensky. How many years have you been going there? How many years have I been going there? I started going to Moscow, Russia in 1994. I was 21 years old. I'm 49. 28 years. I know that area. I want to introduce you guys tonight to a very, very famous person. Maybe you do not know him, but his name is Sergei Loiko. He is a Russian. He is a retired journalist and writer. He was a correspondent for the Los Angeles Times. Very brilliant man, war correspondent in Afghanistan, Iraq, other wars. He's written many books. He's received many awards. He is a Russian. who worked as a correspondent for the Los Angeles Times. I want to show you his video tonight. I think this will help put things in perspective. He pretty much states what many of you in the chat have been stating tonight, that basically we're looking at World War III. This, I couldn't even find out if he's a believer or not, but he makes a reference to the Bible. This is pretty clear to see, folks. This is what I've been wanting to show you. This is Sergei Loiko.
Hi, my name is Sergei Loiko. I am 69 years old. I am Russian, but I worked most of my life as a journalist, as a correspondent for a major American newspaper. In my tenure as a journalist, I've been to many armed conflicts and to a bunch of wars, but I've never ever taken up sides. I've never taken up arms because it was unprofessional. Now you see Kalashnikov in my arms, and I'm no longer a journalist. I'm a free man, and I came here to Ukraine. I'm here on the outskirts of Kiev to defend Ukraine from my motherland, from Putin, the Hitler of today. You know, why did I decide to become a fighter? Because this is a biblical fight. This is an Armageddon battle between the good and evil. It was very easy for me to choose the side, because it's a black and white war for the first time in my life between the good and the evil. And I finally chosen my side. And I am calling upon you, men with combat experience, with army training in the United States and elsewhere. I understand your governments cannot come here and fight because they are worried that that might provoke a nuclear confrontation with Moscow. But you as individuals, if you want to help Ukraine to defend its independence, its freedom, you can apply to Ukrainian embassies in your home countries and wherever you live, and come here and join the ranks of the territorial defense like I did. We are fighting here, not only for Ukraine, not only for its independence, not only for Ukrainians and their loved ones. We are fighting here for you, for the whole world, because this is the beginning of World War III. Come and help us. Ukraine needs you today. Glory to Ukraine. Thank you.
Sergei Loiko, journalist, 69 years old. I couldn't find out if he's a believer or not. But as you can tell, very smart. He's a Russian fighting for Ukraine. He said during his war times, he never chose sides. He just reported. But this time it was easy. It was black and white. This is a battle between good and evil. And then his final statement. And he made reference to, Armageddon. That's the alliteration. It's not Armageddon, but it's definitely biblical what we're seeing. But at the end, he says, listen, I'm not here and we're not here just fighting for the independence of Ukraine, but we're fighting for you, the world. Folks, I think that was spot on. And that is what I wanted to end with tonight. Shannon Valesky, I do not have a link to that video. That 99% of these videos that I share with you, I 90%, I do not get them from places. The guys in Ukraine send them to me. They'll, hey, Greg, maybe you want to show this one. PG, show this one. Maybe this one. Maybe this one. You're helping to get the story out. So I do not have a link to it, but I can tell you this: the broadcast that I'm doing right now is on YouTube, and when it's over, you can go right to the video, and it'll say Day 18 update, and you'll see the video there. Google says yes, he is, but Google is crazy. Anyway, what a good thing to end on. So you can see the video that way and share it. So, folks, thank you. That's 22 hours later than last night. We will continue to pray for Ukraine. As always, we pray, we give, we share, we encourage, we share the truth. We do not let conspiracies run to and fro. We're only looking at the facts and the truth. You can continue to give at www.blwc.org, and the finances get there straight away. Tomorrow night, Jania will be on with me for the hour. Make sure you're here. If you're new tonight, lots of new folks here tonight that I do not know. So in 23 hours, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, I will have a Ukrainian on here with me. Jania will be here with a report on the orphanage, but then we'll just be talking. We'll look at some events and news. We'll tell you what Zelensky said and all of that, and see what unfolded in the next 23 hours. But we will be talking with the Ukrainian. The plan is live for the hour tomorrow night. So thank you for all that you're doing. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you, cause his face to shine upon you, be gracious to you, and give you peace. And may God bless the Ukraine tonight in the mighty name of Jesus. A lot of things are happening very quickly. We'll see what unfolds. And we'll be here tomorrow night in 23 hours. You guys have a great evening. Good night.